Welcome to the XFO Intelligence podcast. Today, we are exploring a dangerous paradox that's emerging at the very heart of the family office ecosystem. A paradox where a core virtue, transparency, is actually becoming a systemic vulnerability. You see, for years, the mandate has been crystal clear, right? It's been driven by the next generation, who are poised to inherit an estimated, $84 trillion. They demand accountability, real-time data. They want to see not just financial returns, but a measurable impact on the world. So in response, family offices have opened up. They're sharing knowledge, collaborating on due diligence, and standardizing all their reporting frameworks. Now, on the surface, this is a picture of a healthy, evolving ecosystem. But our deep augmented thinking has revealed this hidden architecture of, fragility that's being built just beneath this veneer of collaboration. We call it the transparency trap. This relentless push for openness is driving a really powerful convergence. Family offices are clustering around the same popular impact themes. They are participating in the same club deals. To put a number on it, something like 83% of family office startup deals are now structured as co-investments. The result is a portfolio that appears diversified, but it's dangerously correlated just beneath the surface. The network effects that were meant to spread wisdom are now, they're primed to amplify shocks. Just consider this scenario. A single influential family office faces a sudden liquidity need, so they have to exit an illiquid impact investment. But because of all this network transparency and co-investing, dozens of other families are in that exact same asset. The exit request from just one family office can trigger a cascade, leading to simultaneous redemption requests across a network that has absolutely no capacity to absorb them. And look, this isn't just theory. The Archegos collapse, while, an extreme case of leverage, it proved that a single family office can in fact pose a systemic risk. The principle applies more broadly. As one expert noted, deals don't fail on valuation, they fail on financing credibility and liquidity confidence. The very knowledge sharing that was meant to de-risk investments is creating a web of interlocking liabilities. So you have to ask, how do we build this fragile architecture? Well, part of the answer lies in what we call the supernoder amplification effect. Within these deal networks, you have certain large, influential family offices acting as supernoders. They've got the resources, the track record, and the influence to set these de facto standards. So smaller offices, which lack the capacity for exhaustive independent due diligence, they effectively outsource their investment thinking to these larger peers. Conclusively, this isn't true diversification, it's centralization in disguise. Then there is the risk of impact investing standardization. If there's one thing recent crises have taught us, it's the danger of monoculture. For a resilient natural ecosystem, we need biodiversity, right? Well, the same principle applies to an investment ecosystem. By standardizing impact metrics and converging on the same themes, we are creating an investment monoculture. Illustratively, everyone is planting the same crop, and when the blight comes, the entire harvest is at risk. And finally, this synchronized behavior is masked by the inherent opacity of private market valuations. Unlike public stocks, private assets are valued infrequently based on stale data or management estimates. This smoothing effect, it hides the risk until a crisis forces a sudden, painful revaluation. And by then, it is far too late. So what then is the solution? It is definitely not to reject transparency and return to an era of total secrecy. The solution is more nuanced and maybe a little counterintuitive. It is strategic opacity. This means resisting the pressure for absolute transparency. It means deliberately building and maintaining your own proprietary deal pipelines. It means developing an authentic impact thesis that's tied to your family's unique values narrative, not the consensus theme of the quarter. It's about selective sharing. Complete transparency with family members to maintain cohesion, but strategic opacity with the external network to preserve your competitive advantage and ultimately your resilience. To make this actionable, we've developed a practical 4-phase resilience framework. Phase 1 is assessment and awareness. You have to conduct a transparency audit to understand where it serves you and where it undermines you. Map your network connections and run a correlation analysis to uncover those hidden overlaps. And critically, you have to educate the next generation on why uniform transparency can create this fragility. Phase 2, architecture redesign. Here, you implement a tiered transparency hierarchy. You intentionally redesign your network to reduce its density and create what we call fire breaks between investment clusters to prevent contagion. This is where you develop your own proprietary impact metrics that really reflect your family's authentic mission narrative, not the consensus theme of the quarter. Phase 3 is adaptive systems deployment. This is where technology really provides the answer. You deploy real-time dashboards to monitor critical thresholds we've identified in our research. Thresholds like network density, which becomes critical above a score of 0.6, or theme concentration. You then create automated intervention protocols, for instance, an exploration boost protocol that automatically allocates capital to non-consensus themes if your correlation exceeds a certain limit. And phase 4 is continuous optimization. You have to treat your network as a living system, conducting, say, quarterly rewiring exercises and annual resilience stress tests, constantly adapting to stay ahead of emerging risks. Our analysis has identified clear data-driven warning signs. There's a transparency tipping point at approximately the 65% level. Below this, transparency actually increases healthy diversity, but above it, correlation and fragility increase exponentially. The data also shows that family offices maintaining a minimum of 20% proprietary non-consensus deal flow have a 2.8 times higher survival rate during market shocks. The business case for strategic differentiation is just undeniable. The push for transparency is not wrong, it's simply incomplete. It's a technical solution to what is often really a crisis of meaning and purpose for wealthy families. But applying a uniform solution to a complex adaptive system, that's a fundamental design failure. The path forward requires a more sophisticated understanding. It requires building an information ecosystem where transparency and resilience are not opposites, but complementary dimensions of an intelligent design. The goal is to build a system that can meet the next generation's legitimate demand for accountability, while ensuring the family's wealth and purpose can endure for generations to come. So, here's a question we'd like you to think about. As you design your family office's future, are you building a glass house, prized for its transparency but vulnerable to the first stone? Or are you architecting a resilient fortress with the strategic awareness to withstand the inevitable storms? And how would you know the difference before the storm hits?